What's up, you guys? Scott here. So in today's video, I'm going to keep this introduction very, very small. I'm going to be listing 62 of the most crucial things that you want to implement in your coaching, your therapy, your healing, RTT, or even NLP business. But before we get into the content itself, if you're thinking, why should I listen to this guy? It's just another guy screaming at me on YouTube. Check this out. Now, with that out of the way, you can see why having these things in your system and all those testimonies you just saw are the result of having these 62 things in their business. And now you can see why they're so crucial. So what are they? Let's dive into the list. In addition, I'm also going to give you 10 time-wasting activities that you do want to delete out of your business so you can get more out of the profits for your business. Obviously, if your goal is to make a lot more money in your online business, let's go. Number one, you want to have a proven step-by-step system so you can turn your brain off, stop overthinking every action in your business, and get down to work every single day knowing what you need to do each and every day to get paid clients. The next thing, you have to systemize your entire business. One of the easiest ways to systemize that entire business is to have a process called an inputs, process, output, and asymmetry system. So not only can you see what parts of your business are actually working and you can tweak certain things to make things better, but you can also look at flaws in your business and know what things are not working, fix them, change them, so the whole system becomes simultaneous and works together. Next thing you need to learn how to do is do organic marketing. I don't think there's a business owner, whether you're a coach, therapist, RTT, hypnotherapist, whatever you are, whatever you call yourself, I don't think there is a business owner on earth who likes paying for clients. So you want to make sure you have organic systems set up so all your profits from each client goes to you and you don't have to spend 1 cent on marketing, but can still create a very profitable business. Next is knowing where your clients are online. So a lot of business owners want to start an online business, but they have no idea where their clients are. You have to know, are your clients on Facebook? Are they on YouTube? Are they on Instagram? Are they on LinkedIn? Because you have to know where these clients are so you can present your offer to them. If they're not in those places like Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube or something like that, you know that you can't market on those platforms because that's not what your clients are going to see. They're not going to see your offer, and there's no way you can start to make money. Next is knowing your prices, but even knowing what your clients will actually pay you, knowing that you can make enough money to keep your business profitable. So understand the economics, not only as a therapist or a coach for yourself and what your clients are going to pay, but know the economics for your business that keeps your business afloat, and you can start bringing in enough cash flow to last longer than maybe just a couple of months in your business. With knowing your economics, you also want to start to track how many strategy calls, discovery calls, clarity calls you need to do based on your prices per client, how many strategy calls you need to do each and every month, so you can backtrack all the actions you need to take that's going to equal that amount of strategy calls. So really, when it comes down to it, I need to do X amount of strategy calls if I want to earn $10,000 per month, meaning I'd have to close this many strategy calls because I need to get this many clients. So knowing those economics and your numbers is absolutely vital to being successful. This is what we call a profitable niche. Now, every guru, every expert talks about niching, but when it comes down to, you have to find what is known as a blue ocean niche, which is a niche with limited or no competition whatsoever. And you have to avoid common red niches where there's too much competition, too many other therapists and coaches all undercutting each other on price, and knowing that this profitable niche of yours, which would be blue ocean, is going to be profitable for the long term, that there's enough clients inside that niche that are going to be able to serve you and the economics of your business for the rest of your career. You know the difference between a profitable niche or an unprofitable niche? Well, you have to know how to do very concise market research. There are 14 questions that you should be asking all your potential clients about their problems, their motivations, the issues they have, what they want from you, the ability to pay, their motivation, and everything in between. And you've got to be able to look at this data and tell the difference between a niche that's going to make you money long-term or a niche that might just sizzle out within just a couple of clients and make you no money long-term. This is once you've done enough of these market research calls, and we recommend anywhere between about 50 to 25 calls to really understand what's going on in your market, you have to be able to look at the data, look at the answers, and look at the questions that that you ask and make sure that you've got the right answers in the right place for the right people, and analyze this data and put it together to know if it's going to be a blue ocean or it's going to be a red ocean, which is definitely what you want to avoid. From this market research and this data, you need to understand your clients' pain and problems in their words, because you want to take this data that you've learned from these thorough market research calls, where you haven't just made this stuff up, you haven't just made a pain up, you haven't just sat there and analyzed who your ideal client is, you've actually done physical research on this. You want to be able to take their words, their motivations, their metaphors, and all the things they talk about, and this now becomes the basis of very successful marketing. Number 11 is your actual market message. You have to encapsulate from the data that you picked up from these market research calls to create a marketing message that gets the attention of your potential client, but also funnels away clients that are no good for your business. So knowing what your marketing message is, knowing what words to say, what words to avoid, is the difference between a marketing message that gets no attention or a marketing message where you get to the point where you can actually turn clients away because you get too busy. Next is the marketing itself, or putting the inputs into the business, or knowing what to take action on each and every day. And when it comes down to it, again, I talked about this just before, but it really stands alone as its own point, knowing where your clients are. It stands to reason that if you know your potential clients and a big cluster of those clients are on YouTube, but none are really on Facebook and Instagram, you want to avoid the places where your clients are not, and you want to double down in all the places your clients are. Next is combining your price and your offer, knowing what price your market is willing to pay, what your offer is, and being able to explain this in layman's terms for your clients so they can understand exactly what they're going to get, but can also get the attention of all your other clients or potential clients that could see your marketing message, see your marketing, and know exactly what they're going to get from you without any vagueness or anything they don't understand. Next, as part of your price and your offer, you've got to make sure that you're not selling hypnosis and you're not selling coaching. We talked about before about red ocean, what all the coaches and therapists stuck in that red ocean niche are doing. They believe their niche is coaching and hypnotherapy and NLP, and they're trying to sell these services to the general public who have no idea about coaching, hypnotherapy, and NLP. In contrast to this, what you don't want to be doing, like I said, is selling hours, sessions, and the thing. You want to be selling the results, because that's all your clients pay for. Your clients are looking for results. They know that if they're going to pay you $1,500 or something for your service, will they get a result? And bar none, that is the only thing they pay for. They never pay for NLP. They never pay for coaching, because these are the things they don't understand. So there's no point talking about it. In addition to selling results, you want to avoid selling hours, time, things, workbooks, and time with you as a therapist or a coach. Forget about selling sessions or discounts or packages. Just sell results. Number 16 is definitely knowing what your competition is doing and making sure that your offer and your price stands out from every other therapist or a coach in the industry. If there are thousands of coaches and therapists being certified every single month, and you're selling the exact same thing for the exact same price, for the exact same time or duration of the transformation itself, your offer and your sessions and what you think is different is never going to stand out. So knowing what your competition is doing, reverse engineering your offer so your offer stands out and becomes now a blue ocean offer and not stuck in a red ocean where there's too much competition and you'll never differentiate your service or your offer. Point of this and really differentiating your service based on what I've just talked about just before is you want to implement something called MOS. We call this minimum optimum service. You want to not only sell results, but you want to try and sell your client the results on the quickest fashion possible. Here's the thing. Clients are time poor. You are always going to get a new paying client if you can get results quicker. And not only that, there is no client on earth who would not pay you more money if they could get their life back quicker, which means they get the transformation they paid for. You will always win that new paying client. So trying to add speed to the results is always one surefire way to stand out, because every other therapist or a coach is adding more hours, more things, more homework, trying to build up the value. What you want to do is take things out, shorten the time with clients. Now you have more time to do all the things that matter, which is get new clients in social media, but you also have time to onboard new clients at the same time. So MOS your service, guys. Make your results happen quicker, not a longer duration of time. In addition to MOS, you also want to start to look at how you deliver your services. Can you do something called trimming the fat off your sessions? If you know without a shadow of a doubt that normally it would take you, let's say, for example, 3 sessions to work with a client, can you get it down to 2? Can you get it down to 1.5? Can you get it down to 1? What things can you cut away from your hypnosis, your coaching, your healing, your NLP, your RTT that only serve to take up time, but actually don't add any value to the end result, which makes the result take longer? So start to trim the fat off the sessions themselves. Can you actually describe describe to your clients what your offer is, what you do, what the end result will be, and will that end result be tangible enough so they know without a shadow of a doubt that they have got what they paid for. One real reason why people have a lot of client issues is because what they're trying to sell, they can't explain it. And at the same time, the client has no idea if what they've paid for has actually happened because the result is not physical enough for them to recognize that they have actually had their transformation. So you want to make sure the end result is tangible enough, it's quantifiable, and your clients know without a shadow of a doubt that they got what they've paid for. Next is you want to make sure you have the ability to start taking payments immediately, ideally at the end of some sort of strategy call, clarity call, sales call, whatever you want to call it. You want to take immediate payment for that client before you pull out your diary and book them in for the first session. You need cash flow into your business immediately. And this is really a side note, guys. Stop giving your stuff away for free. Start to charge immediately because you want to make sure you've got cash flow in your business so your business can survive for the long term. In addition to taking payments immediately, if you need to have a payment plan structure, make sure you structure it before you do your first clarity call or your strategy call, and make sure you know the details of this payment plan. In addition to this, here's a little secret. Never talk to your clients about payment plans unless they ask you first. Never offer it as a part to, try and close that client. Only offer a payment plan to somebody that asks you first. Ideally, you want to get paid upfront, immediate, in full from your clients. Secondary option would be the payment plan. So keep that to yourself unless your clients ask you. Next thing, to get all your prices off your websites, off your social media, and conduct some sort of strategy call. If a client does go to your social media or your website, the only thing they should be able to do is not see your prices, but book a strategy call, because all it takes is for your potential clients to see your very, very high price by reading on a funnel or a sales page or something like this, think it's way too expensive, go shopping for another therapist or another coach, or just disregard your offer altogether. By having a strategy call, you can control the circumstance, you know when to give your offer, you know when to talk about your price, and you can also talk to your client about the specific things and show the value as to why your prices are so expensive. The next is to understand when breaking down the strategy call is to also talk to your client. Well, not also, you should be talking to your clients about the future value, what it's going to be like to work with you and the results they're going to get for the rest of their life as of working with you today, but also make them very, very aware of what's going to happen in their life in the negative if they don't work with you, how much extra money or extra time or extra bad emotion they're going to experience or have to spend to try and keep their problem or try and solve the problem themselves. So start to talk to your client not only about the results they're going to get today, but well into the future as well. And this all comes down to why our prices can be so expensive, but you do have to learn how to articulate the future value of your service, not just the immediate thing. Next is to have some sort of proposal system. And this is not asking someone for marriage, but what this is if a client gets to the end of the strategy call, you've given your offer, you've given your price, and they say things like this: I need to think about it. I have to ask my husband. I have to ask my wife. You have to have some sort of proposal system that you should be able to send to them that they can show their partner, their husband, or their wife so they don't ruin the sale for you. You've got to realize that the person you just spoke to has probably forgotten 95% of the stuff you've talked about, and they're only going to sell your services based on what they remember. But you are the expert. You know how to articulate exactly what your client's going to get. So have some sort of proposal that you can send to them and tell them, show this to your husband, show this to your wife, because this is what you're going to get. And this way you can actually start saving sales. Next, as part of the strategy call, knowing the future value of your service, having some sort of proposal ready to go. You also want to make sure that you handle all of the objections as best you can on the strategy call. Don't leave your client or hang up the phone or stop the strategy call until all your clients' objections have been handled. One easy way to tease out objections from your clients is simply say, do you have any more questions for me? And if it comes out as an objection, you want to be able to articulate and help them overcome that objection there on the phone so they don't leave the call wondering about that thing in the mind, because that thing's going to definitely ruin the sale for you. Do you want to have some sort of booking system on your website or on your social media, and make sure you have some sort of survey that can have your clients give you all the information you need up front to know what their motivation is, what their problem is, how they're experiencing their problem, why they want to get rid of their problem, but also to know one of the most important things: can they afford your services? There's no point doing strategy calls or clarity calls and putting a lot of great effort into explaining to your client what they're going to get if they physically can't afford your services. So you want to know this stuff up front. If you do find that your calls are getting booked in and people don't have the money for your services, that's fine. That's just part of life. You want to move on to the next call and keep a lookout for clients that can afford your services because they're definitely worth your time. In addition to this, knowing how to look for other red flags in your survey. So being able to analyze the questions and the answers from the survey itself to know what is this client going to be like to work with. Even if they do have money, are they going to affect my business long-term in a positive way or a negative way? What's the attitude of this client? You do not want to be taking on clients that are going to affect your business in a very disrespectful way or a very negative way long-term just to get paid by people. You want to make sure that the clients are coming into your business not only can pay, but they're going to be the perfect fit for how you work, how you coach them, and they're going to get tremendous results, and you're going to have a great time working with them as well. Next, if you're reading the surveys and you find clients aren't a good fit for you, you have to learn how to say no to clients that are just not a good fit for you and don't feel guilty about it. Just realize this, there are thousands upon thousands of other therapists or coaches who don't go to the extent in their business, will take on any client for any problem for any price. Let them go to those clients and let them go to those types of therapists and coaches. Let those guys deal with them and you deal with very highly motivated clients that are willing to pay on time and also willing to pay up front, have skin in the game, and are motivated to see you as the expert as well. If you're running an online business, it stands to reason you have to be very active on social media. So you have to not only know where your clients are, but also be active on things like the normal places like Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, anywhere you could think we could possibly gather your clients together. If you want to run an online business, there is no way to escape. You can't sit in your office and wait for clients to find you. You want to be very, very active on social media, show you how deep your knowledge goes, but also let your clients know that you are the expert in one very specific niche. Next is knowing not only the social media, but how do you use social media so you can turn your content, your Facebook Lives, your videos, your posts, your announcement, your testimonials into new paying clients and also get the attention of the right paying clients by using some sort of system on social media where you're talking and articulating about your specific niche and not just being a generalist and attracting any old person that wants to come along. Once you know where your clients are, you want to double down on those social media places. You want to spend all the time where your clients are. And at the same time, you want to save yourself a lot of headaches and not bother with certain social media where your clients are not. Now, this is more of an advanced strategy. This will happen as you start to get clients, but you need some sort of tracking system to know that 80% of my clients are coming from YouTube, 5% are coming from Facebook. I'm going to double down on YouTube and I'm going to not waste my time on Facebook because it hasn't been a proven place where my clients exist, nor if I do any marketing there, nobody is going to see it. Next is what I call, it's a bit of a cheeky marketing strategy, is stealing clients from your favorite gurus. So go look at your gurus, go look at all your favorite experts, look at their posts, look at their stories, look at their videos, look at the people that are responding, pull those people or send them a friend request, pull those people from the expert pages onto your social media and show them real results of real things you can do for that particular client. How do you do this? Well, you have to know how to do a Facebook Live, but it's no good just showing up for a Facebook Live and dancing around and looking like an idiot. You have to make sure that you can create a Facebook Live that's going to share some very valuable content, and that valuable content is going to be turned into a paying client. You should get to a point where you know that if you do one Facebook Live, it's always going to turn into a new paying client. If, however, you jump on a Facebook Live, you have no idea what you're talking about, you just ramble on, and it's just nonsensical nonsense, it's not going to turn social media into paying clients. Get over the fact of just showing up on social media, maybe trying to look famous or just showing up. You have to be able to turn your posts, your lives, your videos, whatever you're doing into very consistent paying clients. So next thing along the Facebook, you have to make sure that you've set up the correct YouTube channel and making sure that you can create content on YouTube with the right title, the right tags, the right optimization, the right description that's going to get the attention of your clients. YouTube is a place where we know your potential clients are there right now. They are going onto YouTube and asking questions like, how do I quit smoking? How do I lose weight? How do I overcome my fear of driving? And you want your content to show up and be the face for that expertise of the people you can help. By the time they watch your video and you give them some sort of call to action to book in a strategy call with you, now you've driven traffic from not only Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, but you've also driven traffic now from YouTube at the same time, all into your booking system. So next is not only knowing what content to create, but it's also knowing what content to avoid. So if you're one of the coaches or therapists where all your content is just talking about yourself, always talking about NLP or hypnosis, always taking selfies, this is really not going to prove to any client that's going to be buying your service that you are the expert that they should pay for and that they should work work with. Your content needs to talk about your client's pain, add some sort of value, maybe even offer some sort of small solution so they can see how deep your knowledge goes. There is no selfie. There is nothing when you're talking about yourself that's going to motivate a client enough to want to book a call with you. You have to go on the above, I should say, just inspiring people, but you need to motivate people from your content into wanting to work with you. Followers, likes, and shares do not mean a thing if you don't have paying customers. Next, one of my favorite ones is make sure you've got a disciplined schedule. Are you sticking to a schedule that you have defined for yourself, or even a to-do list that you're getting done each day? Are you staying focused enough and disciplined enough to work on your business, even when you don't feel like it, even when you need bills paid, even when you're anxious, or you're scared, or you're fearful of what people might think about you? Are you sticking to your schedule that you have defined for yourself? And are you disciplined enough to stick to it and work more than your competition, to grind harder than your competition, to do more than your competition ever thought was possible, show more value? Because at the end of the day, the person that works harder is always going to get more paying clients, hands down. My next point is, if you're still confused about your content, are you creating valuable content that is answering your client's most common question? There is no client who is in pain right now that maybe wants to overcome some sort of fear, overcome some emotional pain, get out of an abusive marriage, or quit smoking, that is ever going to wonder, what's your background? Why did you become a coach or a therapist? Or should I hire an NLP practitioner instead of a hypnotherapist? They're not thinking in these terms because they're not educated this way. Are you providing valuable answers to their most common questions? Because that's how you position yourself as an expert to answer all the questions they have. So by the time they get on a strategy call with you, all of their objections have been handled, all their questions has been handled, and really the only question they're going to ask you is, how do I pay for your service, and can I book you in now? You want to allow your content to do all the heavy lifting for you. So the next part of the system is you want to make sure you have some sort of organic outreach system. So for a lot of therapists and a lot of coaches, what they do, they set up all their social media. They're a little bit active on social media. They have a website. They got business cards. They got flyers. Then they sit back and wait. And waiting is the long game. If you want to get clients now, you want to start conversations with people. The person who has the most conversations is always going to make the most amount of money. So don't wait for clients to find you. Start messaging your potential client, talking about how you can help them, what the results will be, and start booking strategy calls as of today. So with the organic outreach system, the second part to this is just to realize it is a numbers game. So the more people you speak to, the more clients you're going to get. But what do you offer them? Do you offer your price straight away? Do you offer your services straight away? And the answer is absolutely no. The next part of the system is you want to have something that we call an icebreaker call. This is a 15-minute phone call where you would ask 4 specific questions, and you'll know without a shadow of a doubt whether this person is worth your time on a strategy call, what they're going to be like as a client, do they have the money to pay for your services, and are they going to be the right fit for you, and vice versa. So along with the organic outreach message, you want to have some sort of system for be able to handle and hand over 15-minute calls, icebreaker calls, to build a little bit of rapport before you actually offer the full strategy call itself. Next, as part of the marketing world, is something that I call asymmetry. Do you know, once you get a client, how you got that client? And can you repeat this process every single day? This is the fancy name we call asymmetry, is knowing what buttons to push that achieved the outcome, which is going to be a paid client, and what button pushing to ignore that all it does is waste time. So some of the top earning therapists, our students doing 20, 30, 40, even 50, upwards of $60,000 per month, know exactly what buttons to push, what words to say, when to do it, how often to do it, that is always going to get a paid client. So instead of sitting in front of your laptop for 8 hours a day wondering what the hell you need to do, you need to start looking at all the things you've done in the past, track for asymmetry, know what works, know what to ignore, and how to tweak certain systems, so now you can get predictability in your business and know what to do each and every day. Once you start getting paid clients, you don't just want to look at your client as, yes, I've got paid, I can pay my bills this week. Do you know how to actually ask for testimonials? So do you have some sort of system in your business that not only asks for testimonials, but that gets the right testimonials that you can then market later, where you can turn your testimonials into new paying clients, and this becomes one of the best marketing tools you can have. So if you're not getting testimonials from each and every paid client that you have, you want to make sure you've got some sort of system that can tease out the right testimonials that are going to be the right motivation for new people to want to work with you at the same time. So in addition to the testimonials and maybe just showing a screenshot or showing parts of an email, are you conducting testimonial video? So are you interviewing past successful clients that can actually talk about their journey, talk about what it was like to work with you, talk about where they were stuck, and also talk about where their life is now. There is nothing more motivating than someone thinking about working with you than seeing one of your clients that you've just worked with that had incredible success, allowing their story to motivate those next people. It's all well and good to boast about how good you are and what results you know you could get, but having your clients do it for you is the difference between a business that makes some money from the testimonials and a business that can bring in dozens and dozens of extra strategy calls from one testimonial. And going beyond just the screenshot and turning these things into live video should be the absolute goal when it comes to your testimonial. So start asking your clients, your successful clients, for client testimonials. Take them through an interview. If you want to get a look at that, go over to my YouTube channel at Scott Jansen. You'll see we interview all of our successful students. Follow in the same vein, and you'll notice how many more testimonials are going to turn into new paying clients. The next is taking those testimonials from maybe the screenshot on the video and marketing them in the correct way. Where do you put them on social media? What time do you put them on social media? How many times should you show a video? How many times should you show a testimonial? Having some sort of system where you can take your testimonials and get the most amount of leverage and book the most amount of new strategy calls from one single testimonial. And next is really understanding that a system can be tweaked to an extent that you can have one testimonial that could be booking you in strategy calls months and years for your career ready to come. So at the end of the day, testimonials not only being your favorite and your best friend when it comes to your marketing and should be top of the list as your favorite marketing tool, it's knowing how to leverage those testimonials correctly. And again, knowing when to show them, how to show them, and whereabouts to show them on social media that will always turn testimonials that may have been boring in the past, but your new testimonial system is always going to be booking new clients for you. Alongside with the testimonials is knowing how to ask for proper referrals. Are your clients actually going out for you because of how good your service and transformation was? Are your clients going out for you and starting to send referrals too? There is always one surefire way that you have absolutely nailed your service if you're constantly getting referrals. And referrals are a fantastic thing because they know your price, they know about you, they know your expertise. There's no convincing needed. These are the people that just want to come in, get the service, pay in full, no problems, no questions asked. And these are the same people that will leave and also refer people to. So concentrate on referrals. The way you're going to get more referrals is to improve your product, MOS your product, trim the fat off your product, give your clients a better transformation that they paid for in a quicker fashion of time, and that's going to equal more referrals for your business. Part of the testimonial system, but also the referrals, is also knowing how to train your potential clients to get referrals for you. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to teach your potential clients or the clients you've just worked with so they can teach new potential clients all the important things that you want them to know? So it's no good just telling people, hey, go out and get me new customers or share this testimonial. You want to teach your clients how to refer people to, how to answer specific questions, and also be able to describe in detail what you do. So I hope I'm on track here. I think I've lost count, but the next one is really, really important. And it really comes into summarizing what happened last year. And this is having some sort of passive income, because if COVID-19 hits again and all your clients go away and your income stop, you still want to be able to get paid. So having maybe some online courses, having like a YouTube channel that can actually bring you in passive income should be a secondary option for you and your business that you're working full time. So if COVID-19 hits again, or we're struck with another disastrous thing that happens in the world, you can still get paid even if your clients drop off. Once you've mastered all the basics, and all the ones I've talked about are all the basics, you want to start to think about hiring a VA that can actually do all the button pushing, the social media, the organic outreach, all the talking to potential customers for you, but also making sure that your VA is highly trained in your day-to-day activities. I hear a lot of therapists and a lot of coaches will hire VAs and then just say to the VA, hey, go out and get me customers. What makes a great VA, and for you to get all the money worth out of that VA, is to highly train them, to show them what they need to do in very specific detail, how your business operates, but also having a VA that actually is interested in what you do and is not just button pushing for the sake of it, but can actually summarize some new ideas for you that is actually going to bring you in more business into your business as well. Part of the hiring stage of that VA, you also want to make sure that you give your VA some tests. There's no point hiring a VA if they don't know social media, they don't understand Facebook, they don't understand YouTube. So giving them some sort of test where they can show you how to use Facebook, how to use YouTube, or even show you maybe how to start a podcast, you're going to get the best ROI from your investment from that VA who is very efficient and almost sufficient in working these platforms and knowing enough about social media. Now, sure, everyone should know about social media, but you do want to test your VA on the specific social media and the asymmetry that you found in your coaching and therapy business so they know exactly what to do. It's almost like they become a duplication of you and they're going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Next part of the system is answer me this. Does your business run 24 hours, 7 days a week? Are you waking up to book strategy calls? Are you allowing your content to be seen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week by potential clients all over the world? Or do you have one of those businesses that you start at 9 a.m. in the morning, work through till 5 p.m., and once 5 p.m. finishes and you finish for the day, so does your business. You have to have systems put in place, the infrastructure, the right processes in place that your business can run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and even book strategy calls for you on Christmas Day, or even have potential clients calling you or wanting to work with you while you're on holiday, and best of all, even while you're not sitting in front of your laptop. So allowing your business to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week should be the ultimate goal for any therapist or a coach, and it requires a lot of systems to learn how to do that. Next, let's talk about your client experience. How is your onboarding process? Do you have to fill out, or does your client have to fill out a lot of forms, jump through a lot of hoops, do a lot of things just to want to work with you? Or is your onboarding experience from potential client, which is a stranger, to a new paying client, to a very prosperous client, nice and easy? Remember, clients are a little bit time poor, sometimes a little bit lazy. Don't have them jump too far, met too many hoops just to work with you. Make sure your onboarding process from stranger to paying client is nice and simple, easy for them to follow, but is also repeatable for each new client coming into your business. So the next part of the system is, now you're getting paid clients into your business. Are you using client contracts? Are you making them very aware of your terms and conditions, your boundaries, your refund policies, if you have any? You want to make sure that your client understands what they need to do to work with you, and also what you are going to do for them while working with you. They have to know all the terms and conditions. So you want to put together a very concise client contract. I'll actually leave a video down below, guys. I run through the entire client contract process. I made a video before that. I'll leave that in the description. And it's one surefire way to get past working with very difficult clients, or clients that cause issues later on. Make sure you've got contracts, I should say, in place to save you from heartache later. Now that you're making money, are you doing your accounting? Have you hired an accountant? Have you hired a tax professional? Or even do you have a money manager? There's one surefire way, and really remember this when it comes to growing your business. It's not about how much money you make as a therapist or a coach, it's how much money you can keep. So knowing your taxes, knowing your GST, having a money manager, and someone that can keep an eye on your business while you're having fun working with clients and making the money is one surefire way to keep the business very, very clean and very, very profitable. And next, where does all that money go? Are you utilizing high interest bank accounts? Are you allowing your money to grow more money for you? If not, you want to start to do some investigations about where to put your money, how to use your savings account properly. Also, when it comes to taxing or GST and things like this, so you can have your money start to work for you. In addition to this, you want to find out, do you need an ABN or even an ACN? Knowing the rules and regulations of where you operate as a therapist or a coach is not only going to save you any heartache later, but will actually save you on tax and GST. But you'll also understand the things that you can claim as a business owner, instead of just thinking, well, I'll work it out eventually, or when it comes to tax time, I'll just pull all my receipts and everything together in a shoebox and give it to my accountant. You want to make sure that you're tracking these things every single day, every single week, and it becomes part of your operations. And one way to do that is know whether you need an ABN or an ACN, know what your tax thresholds are and your GST thresholds are, so you're not paying too much of anything and not claiming all the right things. Now let's look at your website. Sure, you might have a website that have some information about you. It might show some testimonials, but does your website actually do the thing it's supposed to do? Well, really, in my eyes, the only thing a website should do is book strategy calls. So do you have some sort of automation process, maybe like a mini webinar where someone can watch information on that webinar as if you were talking to them, but anybody can watch it at any time? That will essentially book a strategy call at the end. So having some sort of webinar, mini success video, whatever you want to call it, on your website, front and center, so your clients can actually watch a video instead of reading through pages of information about what you do. Showing testimonials is obviously one surefire way to start booking testimonials from your website as well. Getting those testimonials, turning into new clients, and ultimately booking more strategy calls as well. With the website in mind, have you SEO'd your website? So this is search engine optimization. Are you using the right keywords on your website to be found by potential clients who are searching on Google for your specific keywords? So back to the money game. Are you tracking your money? Do you have the right cash flow? I speak to a lot of therapists and coaches who will say, Scott, I'm earning $20,000 per month. And I'll say, great. And I'll talk about, what are your business costs? And in order to make a $20,000 per month business, they're spending $10,000 or $15,000 just to keep their business alive. So internally, you actually only have a business that makes you $5,000 profit every single month. Knowing your cash flow, knowing the systems, knowing how to turn the cash you get into your business into more cash later is understanding all all your cash flows. And it is crucial to operating a business that you know your numbers, you know your tracking, you know your cash flow, you know where money is being leaked out your business so you can plug that hole up, and you know how to create new money based off the money you're earning as a therapist or a coach. Your point at every therapist and coach's career where they'll get sick of seeing face-to-face. Have you started to evolve, or have you thought about evolving into group coaching programs? Group coaching programs do one great thing as a therapist or a coach. It stops you just working one-on-one, which you can only get paid once and maybe only get one testimonial. So now you can evolve, as the name suggests, into groups. You can start working one-to-many. This is how you get time back in your business. So starting to think ahead, even if you're not at that point now, is one way you can start to set up systems for group coaching programs later, where you can start to scale 10x, 20x, 50x your income by actually doing less work. So the last one, and I have no idea if this is 62, 60, 55, or where I am on this list. Hope you guys are still following me. Once you've done the one-to-one, once you've done the group coaching program, it's then time to take everything you've learned in your entire experience in your career as a therapist or a coach and take what is called proof of concept, knowing what works for your clients, and putting into a fully automated, work on at any time online program that you can sell to anyone all around the world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and allow your program to do all the healing for your clients themselves. So in addition to this video, I've talked about all the things you should do. So as a bonus, I'm going to talk about 10 things you do not want to waste your time on. Number one is business cards and flyers. If you're sticking to that old school marketing routine of going around people's houses in your suburb and putting out business cards and flyers, which we know people are just going to get out of that letterbox, put in the bin and not even read it. Look what happened when COVID-19 came in, when all those things were taken away from you, where we couldn't even leave our house. This was the reason why you stopped getting clients. So stop wasting your time with business cards and flyers, which no one reads, and you want to start to build your business online, because there are 8.5 billion people in the world that are accessible over places like Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. You can have more inputs into your business, do more work with a Facebook Live or a YouTube video that's going to be seen by more people, rather than you walking from house to house to house to house, handing out business cards and flyers. Get more out of your time in your business. Don't waste your time on things that only lengthen how much energy you have to put into your business each day. Number two is wasting your time at events or meetup groups or something like this, hoping that your potential client is going to show up. So let's really be honest here. A business lunch or a meetup group or even a business breakfast, who are the type of people that are going to show up? Well, they're other business owners hoping that you'll buy their services too. And all you end up doing, even if you do get to speak on stage, is talk to people that are not interested in your service, that are only there for themselves, and you have no control over who's going to be there. What you want to do instead is do something like a Facebook Live that can be seen by hundreds and hundreds of the right people, because you give it the right title and you call out your exact niche, that can be seen by hundreds and hundreds of people every single day, and turn your Facebook Lives, your YouTube video, your posts into your right clients daily. So as a part of this, number three is don't build locally. It's impossible to scale or even get enough momentum in a therapy and coaching business if you're only working with clients who are in your local suburb. Because what happens once you exhaust all those people, that's if knowing that it's only going to be a small population of people. Let's say you have 100 people, probably only 2 or 3 of those people are going to be ideal for you. What happens when you exhaust all those people? Do you move house? Do you move suburb? Do you have to do this every single month to keep growing and growing your business? One surefire way to avoid all of this and growing at a very small pace is to take your business online. Next, and a very simple one, is avoid face-to-face clients. That's right. Stop seeing clients face-to-face and start to utilize technology like Zoom and Skype, because not only can you get out of growing locally and start to grow globally, you'll actually save a lot of time and a lot of heartache and effort for your client to drive to your office, drive to your house, when all they have to do is click yes on the Zoom link or the Skype link that you send them. You do the work with that client, then the client's in a safe environment. They can go for a sleep or something after the session. You know they're not going to have an accident on the way home, and it's going to be a lot more of a comfortable place for your client as well, which is always going to heed more results for your therapy as well. All the way back at the start, I talked about trimming your fat off your sessions and MOSing your services. So extra homework, extra audios, extra diaries, extra session, extra time. If these things do not do anything but take up time, get rid of them. So if you don't need to give your client homework, if they don't really have to listen to extra audios, don't give them to your client as part of your value proposition. Just because you're giving your client more doesn't mean you're giving them more value. All you're doing is you're just giving them more things to do in a very overworked schedule that they have, and they're going to spend less time on actually getting their transformation and more time on all the audios and books that they do not need to be utilizing. In addition to that, my real point here is the next part of things not to waste your time on is don't add more things to your service. MOS. Take things out that are only a time waster and only keep the things that you know without a shadow of a doubt are the reason your clients have their transformation. Next is a big one. If you remember all the way back to the start, number 1 or 2, the first couple of points that I made, I talked about red ocean and blue ocean. One way to know that you're in a red ocean is if you're selling coaching, you're selling therapy, you're selling RTT, you're selling hypnotherapy. If you're selling what you do to general public who have no idea what this stuff is, this is the reason why no one's buying your service. No one buys hypnotherapy. No one buys coaching. No one buys packages, programs, or audios. What they buy is the result. So start selling the result to your client, not hypno, not coaching, not RTT, not NLP, always results, because it's the only thing clients will pay for. So number 8, I have no idea if I'm on track with this one as well, dive in the deep end. If you're spending all your time trying to fix yourself, trying to fix your mindset, trying to unblock all your unconscious things, and you're finding you're doing this month after month after month to end up in the exact same place, you may as well dive in the deep end. There's one thing that happens when we spend all of our time trying to dissolve our unconscious blocks, overcome our mindset stuff. Sure, you might learn to feel better. You might feel like you're really worthy of a business, but then you get to running the business and you still don't know strategy. You still don't know your niche. You still don't know your pricing. You still don't know how to sell. You don't know how to do any of those 62 things that I've said. Well, it means you're in the exact same place. Sure, you might feel a little bit better, but now you're going to feel down in the dumps again because you still don't have a business. So my recommendation, I tell everybody, dive in the deep end, take action no matter how you feel, what's going on in your head, how emotional you are. Start taking action and prove to yourself in your unconscious mind that building a business is not scary. It's safe. It's not going to kill you. And it's actually a lot of fun. And this is one surefire way to get over all your unconscious issues or all your mindset blocks, whatever you want to call them, is to show your unconscious mind that this can be done. Number 9 is to avoid opinions from other experts, other gurus, other therapists, other coaches, and even your colleagues about what niche you should pick, how much you should charge, or how to run your business. Because if you're asking all the people that don't have a business like you, now you're getting just opinions. One thing I always avoided when I had mentors in my life is if they told me something that was just a guess, I would always ignore it. So if I have any of my students ask me, Scott, what niche should I pick, or what price should I charge, or where should I start? I tell them I don't know. What you have to do is research this stuff for yourself. Don't listen to opinions because the people you're listening to are not your clients. If you want to know who your niche should be, go talk to real people. If you want to know what you should charge, go talk to real people. If you want to know whether it's a red ocean or a blue ocean, go talk to real people. Do not take people's opinions or guesses as the basis for your business because they're guessing just as good as you, and I can guarantee your business will fail. So number 10, and I have no idea if this is number 10, but really summarize all of this. If you don't have the right system, the right process, the right infrastructure, know exactly what to do to get clients each and every day in a very predictable manner, your 2021 is probably going to be like your 2020 and your 2019. So if you're super serious about growing your business, go check out some of the links in the description. All the things, like I said before, that I've taught you today is everything I teach with my 100K coaching program. And this is just a small look at it. Having the right systems in your business is the difference between a normal therapist or normal coach that doesn't have any of these things and struggles to make $1,000 a month, or you start looking at a lot of our students that are doing anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 each and every day, knowing what they need to do, how to do it, how many times to do it, knowing that each action they take in their business is always going to turn into a very high-paying client.